Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome to something a bit futuristic today, Regenerative Revival. I'm down at actually BMW Park Lane in London, very prestigious area. They have been generous enough to lend me this brand new for 2022 electric BMW CE 04 scooter. It's fully electric, and as you can see, they've gone all in on this. It's really different looking. I mean, it looks like a concept motorbike with the angles, really futuristic looking. We're going to take it for a ride. Regenerative Revival, fully 100% electric motorbike. We're going to go for a ride around London. Not going to go out of London, but going to be in London city riding. Just see what it's all about. We're going to go into the specs later on and go into more detail about horsepower figures and how long it takes to charge the battery and the different options you can have and everything. This is going to be really a very interesting ride, I think, so stay tuned. So guys, here she is, the CE 04, BMW's all-electric, I'd say premium motorbike, scooter vehicle really. It looks, certainly got some strong looks to it. They've gone all in with the futuristic electric looks. Again, massive thank you to BMW Park Lane for lending me this to go for a little test ride and see what it's all about. We're just down in their garage at the moment, but we're going to head upstairs and take this out for a ride. First impressions jumping on is this huge TFT dash at the front. I believe we'll go over more specific details a bit later on in the video, but I believe it's a 10.2 or 10.5 inch TFT dash, but it's huge, and that is pretty impressive straight off. So starting up, obviously she is all electric. It's keyless ignition, so I've got the keys in my pocket. You're waiting for an engine noise, but there's no noise. That's weird. Ready to go, I believe. Let's twist the throttle and see. Yeah, there she goes. Wow. It's pretty cool down here, by the way. We are creeping up. This is weird. Oh my god. Okay, we'll just do a first bare bones impression. Oh my god, this is weird. You can't, I mean, obviously it's electric, but you can't hear anything. It is dead quiet, no vibrations. I'm guessing, like, first off, I didn't know whether it was ready to go or not, but it says ready there, so I'm assuming that's the indicator. God, it's so quiet, it's ridiculous. It's like it's not alive. And I mean, I don't think it has a neutral. Looking at the buttons, you've got a mode button here, we'll go over later. Rain, road, dynamic, eco. If we put it in, road will be good for now. You've got your BMW whiz wheel here. I'm going to try and connect my phone app to the maps, and then we'll go for a little cruise. Okay guys, so this is a bare bones look. I've got my map. I downloaded the BMW connected app, and I've connected my phone through Bluetooth up to the screen here. Got my sat nav on this massive 10-inch plus screen. Just going to put my phone in here. Does fit, and I'm told that is wireless charging as well. If not, there's a USB-C port. This is going to be fun. So obviously, like, everything on this is electric, even the buttons. So the button to open this dash here, you hear that? Quality feel to it. It's really cool. Okay, ready. Yeah, so the green ready means it's ready to move. Let's see how this sat nav works, because my direction skills are horrendous. And we're off. Oof. Cool, it moves off the line. Obviously that electric powered, so you've got all of your torque. I believe the exact figure is from 1,500 RPMs, but it's immediate. Oh, this map, the sat nav, is amazing. So I'm not going to fiddle around too much with the whiz wheel, the navigation dash at the moment, because I'll probably get lost and then I won't be able to find the nav again. Oh mate, this is awesome. It's really strange. I hope it's taking me the right way. I feel like the heated grips are on, so you've got heated grips here on the right. The dash is actually really easy. I am not the best at working these things, and I just did that then on the fly, having first riding the bike, and managed to turn the heated grips off, so I'm very proud of myself. Let's get on to a bit of a review. Let's get through these lights. Steady, buddy. That's an old vehicle you have, sir. You want to go electric? So almost like the perfect contrast there. I'm on the brand new electric futuristic vehicle of the future. And there's a well, Triumph Bonneville. Is that a Speed Twin, I think? Lovely machine. But first impressions, it's very easy to ride. Easier than a motorised vehicle. It's very smooth. The throttle connection is really predictable and easy when pulling off of the line. The engine braking, or motor braking, is really nice as well. It just slows you down nicely. This is fully spec'd out, this bike, so it comes in more around £13,000. This has got the dynamic, I think, pack they call it. Has 4 rider modes, I think. I'll go over it later more accurately, but it's Eco, Rain, Road and Dynamic, and each one of those modes changes the, so because this is electric, it has regenerative technology, so when you come off of the throttle, all of that is completely adjustable. So if you're in dynamic mode, it has obviously the throttle response and all the power in its highest responsive setting. Oh, this is great fun. It's so smooth. And then also, if you're in dynamic, it can make the regenerative braking, it cranks that right up to high. So when you come off of the throttle, it cranks up the regenerative braking, so it's almost like braking itself when not using the brakes, which is quite clever. One thing I haven't managed to work out is how much juice I've got on this baby. Haven't even looked. I hope they charged it. That would be really embarrassing and a bad review to run out of juice on my first ride. This review may vary a bit. Well, it's a good test of how it is in traffic. Very good test and no problems at all. This review may vary a bit because I'm sure a lot of motorbikers, I'm actually concerned for our future and what is it going to be like, because we may be one of the last vehicles to go electric, but it's going to happen. Maybe not, but I would say that's pretty much a fact. It's going to happen. So I'm actually genuinely excited to test these vehicles and see what the electricity range is like and what the potential of the future is going to be. But it's also at the same time I'm worried of, is it going to be good, as involving and characterful as a motored engine? So yeah, this is going to be an interesting ride. So far I'm having quite a lot of fun, actually. If I'm being completely honest, I'm really enjoying it. This traffic is bad. I'll catch up with you in a bit when I know the bike a bit better. So much I can say about this, guys. It is awesome. Steady, mate. Yeah, one thing is pedestrians can't, I panicked a bit there, pedestrians can't hear you and neither can cars. It's so quiet. It's like floating on clouds. Oh, it just comes to a stop. I've used the brakes maybe 2 times. Other than that, the regenerative braking is pretty much doing a job to stopping me. It's a rocket ship off the line. I'm quite skeptical of when people say, oh yes, the good thing about electricity is, you know, you get all of that torque low down, which is really good for coming out of corners, but genuinely, you gun this coming off of the lights and you'll drop most things. It's really quick. So some stats for you from BMW. The 0 to 30 miles an hour, which off the top of my head I think is 50 kilometers an hour, they're quoting 2.6 seconds. Let's be honest, I think these machines primarily geared towards city riding and commuting and possibly around the suburbs, etc. The electric vibe of it is just better suited to city riding than petrol, I think. I mean, that's not my final thoughts, but I've pretty much already made my mind up on that. It's so smooth as well, and I'm just not using the brake. It's weird, I'm not using the brakes unless I gun it. It's so comfy, actually. It's the seat's quite hard, okay, but like any scooter, your foot positioning here, you can put your feet forward, just lay back. It's not a cheap machine. £11,700 to start with, and by the time I went online actually and configured it, by the time you've configured it to how I wanted it, it was 13 grand, I think just over 13 grand. So that's a pretty expensive machine, but if you got the money, this is a premium feeling motorbike as well. Classic BMW, everything's really premium feeling. Jesus! It's got loads to go to get you through those gaps when filtering. Okay, let's pop it in dynamic mode. So you've got your mode button here. Just to press the button, press it once and then it registers, and then you press it again and it flicks through the different rider modes. So we're in dynamic now, which is obviously the full beans, all of that 9 kilowatt, 42 brake horsepower, 62 newton meters of torque, and full regenerative. So I want to buzz it. Yeah. Oh, Wow, the engine braking on this, I'm not sure if you call it engine braking, the I'm going to struggle with that word. Regenerative braking is really strong in this dynamic mode. So there's a slight whine noise-wise, other than that it is dead quiet. It's comfortable, suspension's nice, no problems with that so far, and I've done a little bit of handling wise and it feels, oh, I really don't want to ding Beamer's new electric bike. Feels really good actually, really nippy. It's very long wheelbase on this, really long bike, like it's one of the longest bikes out there you can get, but it feels nice. I can confirm it's good. I'd probably say better than most scooters because it's so thin. It doesn't have a big exhaust, or we could say an old school exhaust on the back. It's really thin, so I'm actually really able to flick it around and fit through most gaps, which is good. Seriously, it's an absolute riot. Even in these, however much fun you can have in traffic. I think the future's looking good. I don't think there's much to worry about at the moment. I would actually say the best mode for in traffic is dynamic, because it's got it in eco now, so you can save some fuel, save the polar bears even more. So you have that very quick response, more than on, I'd probably say, any other motorbike. And also the regenerative braking is actually a very safe feature. I just had it back there, and I wasn't going to crash, but if the car in front of you suddenly brakes, you save milliseconds by not reaching like that, just closing off the throttle and reaching for the brake. You just close the throttle off immediately and it brings you to a stop. Not a stop straight away, but it slows you down dramatically, which is great for last reaction things in a safety situation, really. There's a Ferrari Roma up there. Love those cars. Stunning vehicle. I think one of the best cars out there at the moment. Looks wise, probably drives okay as well. So we're in eco now, gonna give eco a little bit of a go. Obviously I'm riding around town, so it's hard to say how much fun and dynamically good this motorbike will be compared to combustion engines, but it's a real event riding this. If you're interested in a scooter, definitely check this out if you've got the cash. But even guys, if you like your motorbikes and you want to ride something really interesting and different, ride this. It's very cool and it's got character. I guess they can engineer that in with the regenerative braking. It feels like it's got a combustion engine slightly. Okay, I do miss clonking it up and down on my Speedmaster in gear, but this is more relaxing. It's got some serious go. It's quite quick at these from anywhere from the quickest I've gone has been the legal speed limit, and in that range it's plenty of power there, very responsive. Or if we go over the handling, it's because of that, it's got 15-inch wheels front and rear, so it's got that scooter vibe to it, and it's very long wheelbase. It's sure-footed and it is flickable. You can really flick it, and it feels really sturdy. It's not the lightest bike, as is well known. Batteries are very heavy. However, the battery on this is literally as low as it can go on the motorbike. It's right on the bottom of the bike. When you are handling, it does feel light. It's going to sound silly, slightly reminiscent of a GS, because it's got all of that weight so low down. You can sort of chuck it from left to right quite easily, actually. Obviously in traffic it's brilliant. You're not worrying about gears at all. You're just rolling on and off the throttle. Just going to demonstrate it's got reverse gear. So if you go for a U-turn, which this will easily do a U-turn here, he says, yeah, perfect. It's got a really, really nice steering lock. Obviously it is very long, but great steering lock on it for city riding there. So can't make it. It's got a reverse gear as a star and an R. You hold down the R, and then it shows you your reverse arrow on the screen. Throttle on. Oh, and there you go. And then you literally just let go of the R and it puts it back into forward gear. So I can just go forwards here. Nice and simple. When you come to a stop, just a stop on the red button. Switch it off, stand down, and you have a button under here to just turn all the electrics off. Quick stop here, just at the side of the road. It's always tricky to find places in London to do these these walkthroughs and talk through stopping. But yeah, sorry, I was probably sort of all over the place talking then, but I really like that. Enjoyed it for in the city. For as a city concept, step out of the road. It's a concept for in the city. Well, it's not a concept, it's here. You can buy it now. But for in the city, it's awesome. And actually, I think I've had 4 or 5 people already look at it and go, cool bike, man. Which is really good. It's always nice to appreciate that people are liking your bike. But yeah, I mean, it looks mega futuristic. It's bigger than I thought. It's very long. One of the longest bikes out there, wheelbase. But actually, when you're on it, it's a low seat height, and the seat is 780 millimeters. If you go for the comfort option, it's 800 millimeter seat height. It's nice and low, and that weight, so the battery is in here, really low. It really is as low as it can possibly be on the bike. So you can feel that when you're riding, leaning back and forth and around the corners. You can feel the weight is really low down. So onto the range. It's got 80 miles range on it, which if you're using for city purposes or commuting in and out of the city it's not as much as a combustion engine, but to me that actually 80 miles, that's quite far. For in the city, that's very far. And then standard, it comes with a standard plug socket for at home. You can charge into your into your wall at home. And let me get my figures out. Can't always remember these, so I want to get them right. So with the standard plug socket it comes with, it's 0 to 80% in 3.5 hours, or 0 to 100% in 4.5 hours. So if you're using it in the city, if you go into the office, you can plug it in at the office 3.5 hours later, and you're 80%, 4.5 hours later, and you're 100%. Vice versa, if you're going home, you plug it in, leave it in overnight, and it's easily fully charged by the morning, ready for a fresh another 80 miles. It's very usable, that, for I think what this bike will be intended for. So you can opt to have it quicker than that. You can pay a little bit extra and go for a quick charger, optional fast charger. Now that charges, you will need a box charging point for it, but that charges from 0 to 80% in 1 hour, which I think 0 to 80, and that's 0, that's assuming you've run it right down to 0. I mean, I'd hope you'd leave a bit of a buffer, maybe 10% or so as a buffer. So 0 to 80 in 1 hour. Go for lunch, put it on charge quickly for 1 hour, that can work. Realistically, look, it would be quite fun to go touring, it would be quite a laugh on this, but you're not really designed for touring, realistically. I don't see it being an issue in the city, to be honest. I suppose the only issue would be finding plug sockets and charging points, which I'm not that knowledgeable about. I'd love to do a test on an electric bike, like a real world test, and see how easy it is to charge at various locations, in the office, at a cafe, etc. Given its power on the road there is great fun, and 80 miles, fast charging. So from 0 to 100% with the fast charger, it's 1 hour 40 minutes. So just quickly over some of the brake and suspension specifications. The front brakes, you get two 265mm discs with 4 piston calipers, and yeah, I can say the brakes are very good. The little I use them, to be honest, the regenerative engine braking is almost enough. You very rarely have to use the brakes. So the rear brakes, obviously, and this is a cool touch to the look of the bike, it's a single-sided swing arm. Come around this side. So on the left-hand side you have your swing arm. It's belt driven, and it's the rear brakes, it's a single 265mm with a single piston floating caliper. So rear suspension, as I was saying, it's the single-sided swing arm with 92mm spring travel on the rear. So guys, this is the side here. Underneath here, there's no motor or like an internal combustion engine. This is all storage. If I just open it up here, there's a button up here. There she goes. Electric, press the button, get a nice noise, it opens. So I've got the power cables in there in the moment. So I'm going to leave those power cables in there actually, because it's BMWs, I don't want to mess around with their stuff. But you can fit a full-faced helmet in there. On its side, you just got to be a little careful, but it does go in. For city helmets like open face helmets, or with your large visor and no chin cover, they'll go in easily. And you can get a full face in there. It's sometimes on its side or just squeezed in. So under the cockpit, the dashboard here, there's some more storage. This is actually your charging point, where you plug in. Down here, very handily, 12 volt DIN charger there. And then here's a button, as I showed earlier, that has my phone in there, charging. A quick look at some of the details there. Just gonna start heading back, just rolling off now, very relaxed. It really is predictable, the throttle actually. I don't know if you can hear the whine. You do get a slight whine, which I don't know on electric vehicles if that is artificially made or whether it genuinely is the battery and the motor working away together, making a little bit of noise. But yeah, the suspension's very capable around town. No problems there. I mean, it's a really capable motorbike cum scooter. It's a very premium package, I think, is what obvious to me, feels like to me. It's got everything you need. It's got heated, not as standard, you do have to spec those, but heated grips, heated seat, a 12 volt charger. This dash is really very good. For example, I rode the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT the other day, which is a great bike, but the dash is very complicated, I found. But this is brilliant. It's you know, a lot bigger. It's exactly 10.25 inches, which has got to be one of the biggest on the market today. And I think it's probably the best as well. It's really easy to use as well. You just jump straight on and you've just got that wheel here and your menu buttons. It's very intuitive. I've managed to work it out, and trust me, if I can work it out that quickly, I hope you can. But yeah, it's a quick look there. I was surprised by the electric evolution. I don't think we have too much to be worried about. Don't get me wrong. You've got more characterful, I wouldn't say from a motorised scooter. I'd much prefer one of these. That's quite a big point actually. I would definitely take one of these over a motorised scooter. It's very, very, very capable and feels much more premium. And I guess a part of that is because of the electric motor. It's so smooth and not making any gruff, you know, rumbling or clattering noises. There's nothing there. It's just so smooth. It makes it feel very premium. Yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed this review, guys. I'm very new to electric motorbikes, so it's very much been a sort of first impressions. But yeah, I am very pleasantly surprised actually. I'm just going to put it in dynamic mode now, and I'm going left up here, give it a little bit of a blast. Yeah, I'm really, really surprised with it. There you go, that bloke likes it. Popular bike. Saving the planet and looking cool. Honestly, I've had so many people giving a thumbs up to this. It's been quite funny. Oh, yeah. It makes you feel sick. It's really quick. Oh, it's almost too much. Makes you feel slightly ill. That's quite fun. He's got an electric one, but it's not as fast as this. Right guys, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in the next review, which I'm sure will probably be a motorised vehicle. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the channel. Till next time, ciao bella. One last final hurrah, final disclosure. Just on the ride back there, across town, this is a awesome piece of kit. Seriously, if you can get your hands on one of these for a test ride, it's an absolute blast, especially around town. I've actually found myself being a bit naughty on it. It's great fun. Yeah, had to get that in there.